Happy New Year's, everyone. We are here on January the 1st of 2021. A new year. As you can see behind me, our Christmas tree is still up. That'll hopefully come down this weekend. We are going to talk this morning a little bit about seed propagation, hot pepper seed propagation, super hot pepper seed propagation, and so forth. We're going to talk let you see some of what we do, let you see the different ways you can do it, and there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but we're just going to show you just a few of them this morning. We're standing in our house. We have actually got a room in the barn that was the old tack room that is insulated, concrete floor, enclosed, that is also a propagation room. It's actually a propagation room in progress. We're working on that. Be using that a lot towards the end of winter. Right now, it's cheaper, since we're already heating the house, to start these seedlings in here, and then as we need to, we'll move to there. We've already propagated this year some brassicas, broccoli, cauliflower, calabrese, I don't know, several things. And they just this morning, matter of fact, just about 20 minutes ago, we've got a heated greenhouse that we maintain a decent temperature in. We're not trying to keep it 50 degrees or anything. We grow some peppers in there. So we're look to maintain around 45 degrees in it. And so they went to there so they can start acclimating to the temperature where they're going to be, because they'll be planted in a high tunnel. So that way they can start getting used to the cooler temperatures, the temperature swings, and so forth. That's very important when you're doing peppers. And any kind of plant is to acclimate them to what you're doing. So, anyway, without any further ado, let's switch over and let's go look at how we propagate our seedlings. All right, thank you. So here we have a bookshelf that we have converted into a propagation area. This top shelf is where our brassicas were. So now they're gone out, and down here on the bottom you will see we have some lettuces. We've got lettuce, regular old, just let's see if it's got a label. Yeah, that's a cutting mix. So we got some cutting mix, we got some kale, got some spotty germination on the kale. As you can see, we've got just a handful that didn't come up, maybe about 3. We have fancy name, looks like it's going to be a red lettuce. We got some radicchio, some romaine lettuce, some mizuna, and baby butterhead. Got one roll baby butterhead that didn't come up. The iceberg was seeds that we had bought, and they just did not do well. So now we've got a different iceberg seed to work with. Over here we've got some other stuff started, some asparaguses, 3 different types we're working with. A Conover's Colossal, a Mary Washington, and I cannot pronounce the other one, don't speak that language. And here I see these have popped up overnight, so they're going to need to get onto. Hadn't looked at these this morning. So here we have some Purple Lady Bok Choy that's already up, and some tot soy. We have fell in love with tot soy. It is very cold hardy. And we got some more mizuna coming up, and we got another type of mizuna coming up. And I've got, looks like 1 extra dwarf pak choy. Actually, nope, there's another one. So 2 extra dwarf pak choy coming up. And I've got 1. Oh, there's another one. 3. So it looks like, yep, everything has started to come up except for the Ching Chang bok choy. And that may be a little bit longer variety to germinate. So there's no need to panic. And we've got Chinese kale, the Yod Fa, coming up. So we will move them up here under light. And I will adjust this shelf height. This is an adjustable shelf, so I will bring this shelf up to get those closer to the light so they don't reach. But it's important to get your seedlings under light as soon as they germinate. We try to check these once a day because sometimes they germinate really fast. Like right here, we have some leeks coming up. And sorry about the camera. Leeks. So this is a whole tray of leeks, 2 different types. So the leeks are coming up, so we will move them to light. And matter of fact, let me show you. This is one of the ways to germinate your stuff. This is a heat blanket. Now these are not on thermostats and they're not fancy ones. These are just the inexpensive ones you can purchase. Now these are not the cheapies. I've got them also. This is one of the better ones. But there's no thermostats. This is one of the cheaper ones right here. Just like what you would go to Lowe's or somewhere and buy. Amazon maybe is where these came from actually, I think. And they work, keeping these temperatures up. I can feel the heat right there. Now, this is lavender, rosemary, and chamomile. As you can see, we got a pretty good amount of chamomile coming up. I only have 1 rosemary above ground, and I have 1 lavender above ground. So we're waiting on the rest of it. Alright, so that is one way to germinate. Now let me take you, sorry about the camera motion. This is where we put overflow. This is a gas heater. So obviously there is residual heat coming off of this. I rotate these. The back is towards the front right now. And when I water them again, I will turn them. And that keeps from having an end hanging off the end that doesn't get as much warmth. And this front side gets more heat. This front side gets more heat than the back side. So rotating it keeps it fairly even on the heating. But this heat's already happening. The top of this heater does not get that hot. It works well for peppers and tomatoes. We've done this for years. But hot peppers, and especially super hot peppers, need more time to grow. You know, we've got the New Mex Trick or Treats here. We got Frontera Sweet. We got Caramel Marugas. I guess that's pronounced as Isleta Pueblo. We got Granada Seasoning Peppers. We got Negro de Val. Brown Moruga Scorpions. Red Naga Brains. Pimentos de Padron. Trinidad Pimento. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sanha. Husa. And a paprika pepper. A Jamez Peblo. A golden Greek pepperoncini. We're excited to try that one this year. We got a Tobago seasoning. An ají Guyano. A Trinidad perfume. Trinidad perfume is a virtually heatless Trinidad pepper. And an ají panko. A Thunder Cacho brown cayenne. And a Thunder Cacho red cayenne. Very excited at that. I love cayenne varieties. And then we got Carolina Reapers. These were seeds straight from Puckerbutt. We do save our own seeds also, but I did restock this year through them. We like to do that every few years on the varieties that we're not isolating. Now these will be isolated this year, so purity will stay there. We got a Red Butch Tea. We got a By Jalokia, a Boot and Nade Cross. A Yellow Brain Strain, a Yellow Boot Jalokia, cut 2 rolls of them, an Aleppo, a 7-pot caramel, Bleeding Naga, an orange tie, 2 rolls, a long red tie, and 2 rolls of long yellow tie, a brown Congo habanero, a pumpkin habanero, a red Dominican habanero, an ají Santa Cruz, and if I could pronounce that word, I would. But anyway, a yellow space pepper. So, that's our second way to germinate. And we have a third way. Now, this is the more expensive of the ways we germinate. And I haven't been in this in a couple of days. This is, we used to be big into chickens, and we still have a lot. But we have a GQF hatcher and incubator. Now this is the hatcher, which means it has nothing that moves inside. It's a 1550. And I'm sure there's cheaper ways to do this, but since we already own this, we didn't have to buy the other ways. It's got a digital control center and humidity reading, so I can read the humidity. I can read the temperature. I can control the temperature, control the humidity by how much water you put in it. So the humidity has to be controlled by water. You'll see there we're sitting on about 75 degrees, which is a great temperature for germinating hot peppers. 70 to 85. I like that 75 to 80 range. I usually shoot for right around 76 degrees. It seems to do very well germinating. They germinate much faster, and you have a much higher germination rate. You can also germinate peppers in the wet paper towel method. There's several things that you can do. I just don't prefer the wet paper towel. It's too much more to deal with. But anyway, these are really nice, and you probably wouldn't want to buy this just to do peppers in, but since we already had it, it works well. Up here we have a water trough, and the fuller that is, the more humidity you get. And if you need even higher humidity, they got like wicking sponges that can go in there that brings the humidity on up. So let's see if we got anything that needs. Okay, I don't see nothing germinated here. These haven't been in here long, so I don't expect, we're not even a week yet. I don't expect to have anything that needs to be germinated. That crossbar sets in the way in case you can't tell. Nope. But this also helps keep moisture in the soil. So, as you can see, I don't have any germination, which I didn't expect to have. I do need to do some watering today. We're not dried out, but we're getting there. And I usually have to water at least every other day, and it depends upon what I've got in there, you know, how much I have to water it. Some things hold their humidity better. The bigger the pots, those are small seedling trays. But this works well for us. We have our seeds stored up here in these cases. Well, our hot pepper seeds are, and sweet peppers. They're stored in these cases. Works out very well for us. So anyway, we're going to call that for the video. I hope y'all have a wonderful new year. God bless.